Hello, CS50. My name is Nanabe Tando, and I'll be presenting on the Colonial Pipeline's ransomware attack. So, my EX account is Tando3, my GitHub is Tando03, and I'm presenting on the 14th December 2023. The overview. So, on May 7, 2021, the Colonial Pipeline, a major US pipeline operator, suffered a ransomware attack that caused a significant disruption in economic losses. So this presentation is going ahead to analyze the attack from a cybersecurity perspective. We're going to discuss the attack's background, the technologies used, which vulnerabilities were exploited, and the lessons learned. The background of the attack. The Colonial Pipeline is actually a critical piece of infrastructure in the United States. It actually transports gasoline and jet fuel refineries in Texas to the East Coast. The company operates a network of over 5,000 miles of pipeline serving millions of customers. So that should tell you the amount of revenue that the pipeline brings to the United States. How did the attack happen? It was actually caused by a group known as DarkSide, which reportedly gained access to the pipeline system through a compromised virtual private network account with technologies used. So DarkSide actually has a ransomware they use for their activities where they call it the ransomware as a service. What it does is it encrypts the victim's files and demands a ransom payment in cryptocurrency in exchange for a decryption key. And also, the other technology that was used was the compromised VPN account, which attackers got access to it because it wasn't secured. The remote access points weren't secured. So this highlights the significance of securing remote access points because it can also be used as a conduit of attack to get access into the system. So what went wrong? There was a weak cyber hygiene. That is, there were potential weakness in cyber hygiene practices like weak passwords, lack of multi-factor authentication, or even an outdated software. Also taking into consideration the critical infrastructure vulnerability. The attack actually targeted the critical infrastructure, emphasizing the need for a robust cybersecurity measure in industries that play a vital role in national security and public welfare. And also, it had an impact on operational technology. This goes to say that operational technology and information technology are actually both intertwined. One doesn't work without the other. An example could be a door which is biometric. If your systems are shut down, that means that you will not be able to go out, nobody will be able to come in. So the operational technology, the day to day, is there is actually an intertwine or an interconnection in those environments. So there has to be a cybersecurity um, overview or protection on those systems. Also, what could have been done differently? Somebody you asked. There's several things that could have been done differently. An example could be the cyber awareness training. So, enhanced training on security awareness for employees, which does not go to say that there are some attacks which are still happening and keep on happening. So just know that the attackers will continue to get better. Their modus operandi will always keep on changing. So there has to be enhanced training on how to identify a phishing attack and the importance of authentication practices. All this could have reduced the risks of being the VPN accounts being a medium that they were able to encrypt all their files. Also, a zero trust architecture. Implementing it goes to say that nobody's access is actually assumed. There has to be verification. So with this, what we are trying to do is make it difficult for the attacker, make it expensive each and every time he tries to get access to it. Okay, you will say you are Kofi, or you say you are Nana. Verify that you are Nana by, let's say it's a 2FA. So you have told me what you are. So show me something that you have. Something like that, that would help protect the system. Also, regular security audits that take into consideration getting to see which access points or remote access points are open, those sockets are closed, those ports which are open. Also, penetration testing that goes to find all these vulnerabilities and zero-day exploits before these malicious attackers or adversaries use those exploits or those vulnerabilities to get access to our systems. What are the lessons that have been that are learned that can be learned from this pipeline attack? One could be the investment in cyber resilience. So cyber resilience strategies which include incident response planning to minimize the impact of a successful attack. Also taking into consideration securing critical infrastructure. The government agency and the private agency must come together to defend against cyber attacks because these are critical infrastructure which, when they are down, would really affect government revenue, make life very, very difficult for um, the individuals in the country. Also, continuous monitoring and threat intelligence. You have to take into consideration that there has to be a proactive nature of cyber finding cyber vulnerabilities, and also we have to also leverage on threat intelligence systems, endpoints, EDR, XDR, SIM, reviewing our SIMs, our logs, to all make sure that our systems are apt. Also take into consideration cybersecurity regulations. The government has to consider implementing or enhancing the regulations related to cybersecurity for critical infrastructure sectors to ensure that there is a baseline of security that is met. You have to. We are also here to also talk about cybersecurity in general. So when you also look at cybersecurity in general, you get to understand that it's dynamic and organizations need to adapt. They don't need to stay in the stone age. They don't need to say, oh, I have my Splunk there, I have my SIM there, I have my EDR, I'm good. No, we have to look at the tactics, the techniques, all of those things that are used by the adversaries to get access into the systems. All of this has to be taken into consideration. And the new emerging trends, we have to be apt on it. And also, this attack or this incident goes to serve as a reminder of the evolving nature of cyber threats and the importance of a proactive cybersecurity measures. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Nana Bain. Thank you, CS50.